No, I mean it's amazing. Everything that that museum has done to help educate me on the place that the Negro Leagues have put into the sports in general, not just baseball. It's amazing to see them getting the recognition and the players that they have that are Hall of Famers getting put in the right place.
What about your Madden rating?
My Madden rating, I think the biggest thing that was, I mean, obviously I'm disappointed I'm not 99. I mean, everybody wants to be 99, but I mean, it's probably a good rating. I'm gonna try to work my way back up to 99, kind of through my play on the field. But obviously, I know y'all saw the speeds up there though. The speed's just climbing. I'm trying to get that speed to 90. So I'm gonna have to have a few more runs this year and get that speed to 90.
Have you talked to Orlando Brown at all?
I talk to Orlando all the time. Me and him have a great relationship. Obviously, we wanted to get the deal done. I'm sure he wanted to get the deal done and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we're gonna go out there and play football, and I'm excited for him to be here and be a part of the team again.
How important is it? Suggesting that he's a report came out that said he wasn't who they thought he was, and some people taking a run with that said, well, he's not a good team player. Tell us about what kind of a guy he is and what kind of teammate he is.
I mean, I have no idea who said that. I mean, he's a great team player. He's one of the smartest football players I think I've ever played with. He has a high IQ. I remember even when he wasn't at OTAs, he's asking me questions. He's watching the film. He's doing everything to make sure that when he steps here, he's ready to go. And I think that comes with him as his dad playing in the league. He's been around the sport his whole life. And you ask anybody on this team, he's one of the best guys on this team, if not the best one.
Expecting to see him anytime soon here?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't ask him anything like that, but you want him to be here. I mean, just because of the guy he is, and he's a leader on this football team. But at the same time, when it comes to money and contracts and stuff like that, I'll never kind of force anyone to do anything because I know they're trying to provide for their family long term. But as a teammate and as a friend, you want him to be here and be a part of this because it's always a good atmosphere when you're down here in St. Joe's and you're going to be in the building and eat together and practice together.
Patrick, obviously, when you signed your deal a few years ago, I think you probably anticipated that it was going to be surpassed a few times. Just wondered what your thoughts are on that actually occurring over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome for not only the quarterback market, but for just the market of players in general. You want the salary cap to keep going up. You want players to keep getting more and more money. And when I signed my deal, I knew I was going to be pretty set for life, regardless of what the market kind of happens. But you just keep playing. I mean, money is one thing, but when you get those Super Bowl rings at the end of your career, I think that's gonna be the thing that you look back upon. And I think I've made enough money from the football field, and then obviously off of it as well, that it won't matter at the end of the day.
So it's not important to you to be the top paid guy. I mean, a lot of guys obviously take pride in something.
No, I mean, I think especially at the quarterback position, kind of the next guy is the top paid guy. Any of these top tier quarterbacks, they make such a difference on NFL football teams that it's going to get passed up. And I mean, even if you look at guys that signed last year to this year, they got passed up. And I'm sure when Burrow, Herbert, and Russell and all these guys come around, they'll keep setting the bar even higher. And so I always want to make sure that you always want to get paid. Like I said, take care of your family. But I want to have a great team around me as well. And so whatever way that is, I'm going to make sure I have a great team around me the rest of my career.
You're always in tune with, it seems like, the ESPNs and the Fox Sports. There's been a little bit of chatter of the Chiefs' offense without Hill be a little bit less this year. Just what have you kind of gathered from that, and then how do you guys take that maybe as motivation to make sure, okay, with this new crop, it's not going to fall off at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have the right guys in the building. I mean, obviously it starts with the coaching staff. We have a coach that's coached with a many variety of weapons and all of his different stops, and his offense has always been great. We have a lot of great coordinators, great position coaches that will coach their guys up. And then the players. We got a lot of guys that love football that want to come in here and work. And obviously we see stuff on SportsCenter or whatever that is, and that people kind of doubting us a little bit. And I think it gives guys extra motivation to come out here and just play even better than they thought they could, because they want to make sure to prove that we're still going to be the prolific offense that we've been since Andy Reid's been in Kansas City.
I say Sky down in Texas. What you take away from that as far as chemistry-wise, and what led you to maybe posting him on your own social media to kind of announce him in a way?
I mean, first off, it was a sweet catch, so I had to make sure that I posted that. No, I mean, it's good to see young guys, especially like that, coming out and getting extra work in. He came in with a little bit of the hamstring thing, whatever, at the beginning of camp, so we didn't get all those reps that we obviously wanted to. So to get him down in Texas, get some extra reps in, coming into this rookie mini camp where I'm sure we'll get more and more reps there, I think it'll just help jumpstart him to kind of help contribute as fast as possible. Because at the end of the day, I mean, he's a rookie coming in having to learn a ton, but he's a lot of talent, and we want to make sure whenever the season comes around, he's ready to go.
Patrick, year in and year out, there's always these lists that come out, ranking QBs, other players, that sort of thing. When you don't see your name at the top of those lists, does that motivate you at all?
I mean, if you're not motivated by not being the top of anything, I think you're not in the right profession. So I obviously want to be at the top of the list. I want the Chiefs to be at the top of the rankings. I want to do whatever I can to put us in those positions. But that all comes with how you play on the field. And so you can have these off-season lists and everything like that, but when it comes down to it, it's going to be who's there in the middle of February holding up that trophy and getting that ring. So I think whenever you have that motivation to be the best and to win as a team, then everything else kind of handles itself.
Individually, how much does it matter? Like, in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, it's other people's opinions, so it shouldn't matter pretty much at all. I mean, I think the best thing about this game is there's always going to be people climbing and trying to be better and better and be the best. And so in order to be the best and to stay there, you have to keep getting better. I think you've seen guys like Tom Brady do that, Aaron Rodgers, and they keep improving every single year because they know that people are coming to kind of try to take that throne, I guess you would say. And for me, that's just kind of proven myself that I can't be stagnant. I can't be the same player. I have to keep getting better and better every year.
Based on your experience, Patrick, knowing what is ahead of you, is there a difference that you can see from a physical standpoint, given that you're not rehabbing this offseason, that you can tell is going to help you maybe early into training camp, even maybe also into the regular season?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. It really helped a lot this offseason, just not having to go back and rehab for those first 2 months. I mean, pretty much I was working out, but I couldn't do much, so I had to just rehab basically throughout the entire workout. And this year, just kind of starting from right through the season, just going right back to working out again and kind of being there and kind of can build on stuff that I could work on some of the weaknesses and stuff that I had. And I think it actually helped how much rehab I did with my legs that I think I'm going to have a better base underneath me. Just trying to make sure that I keep getting better. I want to make sure that I can do whatever I can to make the team and put the team in the best position and make us the best team that we could possibly be.
When you mention weaknesses, what sort of jumps out to you, and what is something that you think can be tangibly seen that's improved?
Yeah, mechanically, I just want to make sure I have a better base. I think with having the foot issues at the end of that the 2 seasons ago, I kind of got some bad habits of kind of falling off that foot, not playing it in the right spot and making the right throw, and that'll affect your accuracy. And so I think as the season went on, Coach Reid really harped that on me, and I got better and better as the season went. But to be able to work on that for a full off season and then coming into training camp, I feel like I'm in a way better spot than I was going into training camp last year, and I'm going to try to keep building on that.
Couple more, guys.
Patrick, you mentioned you've been in touch with Orlando, and you yourself have been through the business side of football. What kind of advice are you giving him on how to deal with this type of situation?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to kind of keep it in perspective. I mean, obviously, it's such a big deal that no player wants to be dealing with. I'm sure the coaches and the GMs and all them don't want to be dealing with as well. But it's something that you want to take care of your future and take care of your family and generations to come. And I mean, it's money that can take care of your grandkids and their kids. And so you want to make sure that all gets handled, but at the same time, you want to make sure you're ready to go whenever that does get handled. And so obviously, it didn't work out for him this offseason the way that he wanted to. But whenever he gets here, I'm sure he'll be ready to go, and he'll go out there and show what caliber player he is again. And I'm sure that will all handle itself at the end of the day.
Okay, thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
and ladies. Got a couple things just for you I want to knock out. Rashard Fenton has shoulder surgery. Lucas Nyang had knee surgery. These guys will be up here, but they won't be practicing. And then Justin Ross had foot surgery, so he won't be practicing either. So everybody else is good to go. Everybody else is back and rolling. So we're in good shape. Great to be back at Missouri Western State University. Just very, very excited to get things going. We have there are some new players on the team, which makes it exciting. It's not that same group that's been here probably the last 3-4 years. There's been a nice influx of really good football players that we look forward to seeing as things heat up here. Not literally, but very warm here, I know for you. But as things heat up and the season gets a little closer. Have a great schedule that we're playing, we're all aware of, and we look forward to that challenge. That's why we're in this, for those kind of challenges. And our players, there's a great energy that we left with during OTAs and that we will now have, I'm sure, up here. So, and then thanks to Dr. Kennedy, the president of the university, and Mr. Carter, Andrew Carter, the athletic director, for putting on and allowing us to be in this position up here. So it's a great situation for a camp. Not a lot of teams are doing camps anymore. It used to be everybody would jump in and make the move, but there's probably less than half now that are doing this. But we sure like that to build camaraderie and a nice foundation for the season. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Coach, you mentioned Rashad Fenton, Lucas Nyang, and Justin Ross. Do you anticipate them starting camp when the veterans come here on the PUP list?
Yeah, I would probably tell you no. Yeah, I'd probably tell you they'll start on PUP.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll start on PUP, but they won't be practicing. Yeah.
And Andy, you mentioned that Justin had the foot surgery. Did that occur at any point during the off-season program?
No, it was a little bit off of the surgery that he had before. Just it wasn't functioning quite the way. It was bothering him, so it wasn't working quite the way he wanted it. So they went in and redid it, and we're hoping that this works out well.
And do you have a timetable as to like what his recovery time will be?
I don't, but it's going to take time. Yeah, it's going to take time.
Coach, how excited are you as a football player to get everybody in one place working like this?
As a football coach, I'm real excited. As a football player now, huh? I would. This heat would have. I might argue about it, but no. I'm very excited to get everybody here, and I know that's how the players feel. I've talked to enough of the guys that they're excited about this, and so here we go. Take it one day at a time and try to get better every day.
Did you expect Orlando Brown to be part of this?
I don't know that, so I don't know whether he's going to be here or not. If he's here, great, and if he's not, we move on. So that's how we've done in the past. This isn't the first time I've been through something like this. My thing is we just go, and whoever the next guy is that's going to step in there, we know Joe Tooney can do it in a heartbeat. So if we need to go that direction, we can go that direction. We've got some new faces in there that can also do it.
How surprising was it to you? I mean, given the relationship that y'all had with Orlando Brown and him with the team, that the deal was not done by July the 15th?
Yeah, listen, things happen. I mean, that's the name of this game, where we are today. It's probably been that way for a number of years. I always go back to Babe Ruth moving from, moving to the Yankees from the Red Sox. I mean, a great player, and this type of thing in professional sports goes on, and you work through it. You work through it as a player, you work through it as a team, and move forward.
Andy, is Joe Tooney first in that line?
I haven't even got to that point, but we know, if things keep going, we know he can do that.
Maybe on the one hand, Orlando's played quite a bit, but on
Sure.
the other hand, he's still, as you said before, he's still young, and especially on the left side. How much is he going to miss if he's not up here?
Yeah, I mean, I would tell you, when you miss, you miss. I mean, it's hard to make that up. I mean, that's just logical. But to say he doesn't have a foundation, I mean, he has a foundation of the plays that we run and the things we do. So, but he missed all of OTAs and all of that. So the new stuff that we've put in, that's where he'll have to catch up.
Andy, because you extended or not. What do you take from those experiences to ensure that the player and the team can obviously function the way that you would like, so that there's not necessarily friction or the contract sort of overshadowing or looming over the situation?
Yeah, sure. There's a time element, and I think players, with time, they're able to sort that out. These are young guys, so I mean they sorted out the business side of it and the football side of it, and they're able to separate that. For the most part, the ones I've been around did a great job with that. And then they show up and they do their football part. They're still going to be paid, and Orlando's going to be paid pretty good money. So it's they're able to separate that and move on. So that's how it goes.
Being motivated by kind of some of the offseason storylines, especially specifically about the offense without Tyreek Hill. Can you sense that motivation? Can you sense that in the group kind of coming into camp now?
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe you can term it motivate. I look at it more of everybody getting on the same page, and there's an urgency to that because we know the level that we're capable of performing at. So whether it's coaches and or the players, the ones that have been here and the new ones, I think there's a sense of urgency and that makes it, that's the exciting part. Let's see what we can do. And, we're always trying to be a notch better than what we were before, so we're going to try. That's what we're going to do. Every day, we're going to try to get better.
Dating back to the days you've been a head coach, even the Eagles days, it was just one with a lot of different versions and personnel. What's the key to that as you move on from maybe like a Tyreek-led offense to something that's going to be a little bit different?
Yeah, so I tell the players, that we're going to try to exploit your strengths, and we're going to work on making your weaknesses into a strength, and just take that in mind when you come into this program. That's how we roll. So that's what we've started with our guys in the OTAs. We've studied enough tape on the new guys that are coming in to know what they're good at, and we'll incorporate that in, which we've done, and then we'll work on some things and which they've been doing, so that they can get better and even have a bigger role.
Nicole has been vocal over the years about just, he's been behind Tyreek and in a sense that maybe has capped production. What do you see from him maybe now that things may be a little bit more open up?
Yeah, I think McCole will do fine. I mean, it's I don't know if there was somebody in line. He's had some pretty good plays for us, so I think he'll just continue to grow. He's in the right frame of mind. He's worked hard, and I'd expect that just to kind of take place this next step. Yeah.
You mentioned all the new faces, and I know you said, "Let's see what you can do." Is that what gets you excited the most?
Yeah, it said yes. I would tell you, yeah. I'm very excited about that, actually. Yeah, to be able to teach from a coaching standpoint, and the players are excited to learn and to see where they can get to, and I just think it's a healthy thing.
Andy, you've done it with Brett, obviously, Donovan, Alex. When a guy is entering the prime like Patrick is, what are you most interested to see from him, given that this is not his first training camp?
Yeah, so Patrick does a great job with his leadership ability. He's got a nice feel for things. He understands his strengths. He understands his weaknesses. He's willing to work on his weakness like a wild man, and he attacks those things. He wants you to coach him and coach him hard, and and do that. Which, I mean, that's what we're here for, to be teachers. And so I would. He's gonna. That's what he is. And so with that comes natural progress. Every year that you're in it, you just take another step up. So is there one thing I'm looking for? No, that's not what I'm doing. But I like his attitude.
And I just wanted to double check that you anticipate everybody else will be here. Obviously, Frank missed the mandatory.
Yeah, he'll be here. Yeah, as long as he makes the plane on time. But yeah, he'll be here.
Hey, Patrick mentioned that last year with the foot injury and everything like that his base was kind of off, and that was something you had to kind of reinforce with him last year. He's working on that. Is that common? I mean, that even great players like Mahomes, that injuries like that can kind of mess up with their mechanics and their core?
Yeah, you try to. Well, when you're banged up a little bit, you try to work around those things. Sometimes if you work around, you might get into, throw you off a tick, and so, and normally it's the player that knows that. because they've got it down to that finest point. So if he told you that, that's what he means by that. Yeah, yeah. I like your shirt.
Football aside, you've been doing this a while. What's that one thing that you had to bring to make sure that you know you're just going to be here at training camp?
Yeah, listen, I mean, I get excited every day. I get fired up. I always tell the player, I'm going to give you my best. I'm going to try to do that. If I don't, let me know about it. Tell me. But I'm going to try to bring it every day. And I don't feel any different at 64 than I did at 24. I'm coming at you. So let's go.
Andy, do you think you found a way from an efficiency standpoint? Back in the days, you guys used to have 2 practices a day.
Yeah.
Do you think you found a version where you can get essentially the same amount of work with one practice?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we get a lot of work in. The players understand that. They understand that every play is important, that we're going to go fast. We're not going to repeat plays. I mean, we just don't do that. And so you want to maximize your play. We're going to try to make it as much like a game as we can. And then we're going to learn from it. If you make a mistake, we're going to learn from the mistake and try to get better. So I think efficiency-wise, we get a lot done. I think the recovery process and all that science that we've learned is good. It's good for the player. I think it'll be good, from the longevity standpoint for the player. The league's put a lot of emphasis on that. The new rules, you trying to get the head out of the game as much as possible. I mean, all this stuff is good stuff, and the league continuously works on that. I mean, you got to take your hat off to them for working through it, not shying away from it. So.
Couple more guys.
Coach, what's the benefit for quarterbacks and the rookies to be here early before the vets?
Yeah, so I would tell you it's similar to the coaches. So Eric Bieniemy, I stand up front. Spags stands in front. Dave Tobe stands in front of the team. And when you're doing these installations, you're knocking the rust off. So by the time the vets get in, now you get to go over it one more time when the vets are there, and it's just a little bit smoother. I think it's the same way with the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks come in, they knock a little rust off so they can hit the ground running when the when the veteran players come back in, and they've got everything down. Remember, they have to learn the most, so they've got to know everything backward and forward. They've got to be able to spit the play out, do it with efficiency, and then they've got to be able to throw the ball with efficiency. They've got to have the run game down and the checks involved with all this stuff that they've got on their plate. And reps helps. And the opportunity to have a little bit of time here to just do it and then be able to do it that one more time when the vets get in, I think is big.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Any good cheeseburgers?
I did have a couple.